Now, next topic is PDS reform. Public distribution system reforms. Can be a mains question. So first point, application of information communication technology, ICT. Application of ICT, including end-to-end computerization. Everywhere you can write this, wherever supply chain issues are there, you can write this end-to-end communication, computerization. Application of ICT, including end-to-end computerization. Second point, leveraging Aadhaar. Leveraging Aadhaar for unique identification of beneficiaries. So you can use Aadhaar so that you can identify the beneficiaries properly. Okay, leveraging Aadhaar for unique identification of beneficiaries. In bracket you can write this BAPU, B-A-P-U. What is this? Biometrically authenticated physical update. Biometrically authenticated physical update. Just write in bracket, biometrically authenticated physical update. Third point, provision of doorstep delivery of grains. See, actually it is a responsibility of the quota holder to deliver the grain. And you know, the recent changes in corona that we don't want to discuss under this year. Here we will discuss the whatever is there normal. Okay, so provision of doorstep delivery of grain. So in bracket if you want you can write it is a responsibility on quota holder to deliver. Okay, now one more point, diversification of commodities under TPDS. Diversification of commodities under TPDS. Next point, full transparency of records. Transparency of records. That is list of beneficiaries to be put online for everyone to verify. Just write transparency of records. Like list of the beneficiaries should be put online so that you know, there won't be misuse of diversion or dummy people will not come, ghost beneficiaries will not be there, etc. Next point, vigilance committees to check pilferage. Vigilance committees to check pilferage. Next point, decentralization of procurement. Like I've told you yesterday also, FCI need not go for direct procurement. FCI can even allow state warehousing corporation, central warehousing corporation, etc. for the procurement also, right? So that the cost can be saved. Also the wastages. Now there is a recommendation again from Shanta Kumar Committee related to NFSA. So just write Shanta Kumar Committee recommendation on NFSA. Shanta Kumar Committee recommendation on NFSA or TPDS. So we have discussed Shanta Kumar Committee in buffer stock also, even before subsidy also we have discussed. So very important committee when it comes to agriculture. So why I'm discussing it again, even though it was so much before, all the recommendations is having relevance even now. So in mains, if you get any, obviously you will get one or two questions for sure from agriculture. Okay, one question is for sure. So you should be in a position to take these recommendations. Okay, so you will get complete idea of all the topics because subsidy related is there, buffer stock related is there, now PDS related is there. Okay, when it comes to agricultural insurance, there I will discuss a better committee, Deepak Mohanty committee. Okay, so we have, in fact I've mentioned that name much before also. So like that you should be in a position to mention the committee. So that's why in these three contexts Shanta Kumar committee is better. Okay, so first one you write. Just write like this, given that leakages in the PDS range from 40 to 50%, given that leakages in the public distribution system range from 40 to 50%. Yesterday also I have told you this point when we discussed about issues of PDS that there is a leakage, and I've also told you TCS estimate is around 30%, and I've told you in reality that is much more. So given that leakages in the PDS range from 40 to 50%, the government of India should defer implementation of NFSA, the government of India should defer the implementation of NFSA in the states that have not done end-to-end computerization. Defer means postpone. Okay, defer the implementation of NFSA, National Food Security Act, in the states that have not done end-to-end computerization, comma, have not put list of beneficiaries online, have not put the list of beneficiaries online, comma, not set up vigilance committees, not set up vigilance committees. So this is the first recommendation. If the leakage is so high, so the government subsidy burden and the fiscal burden is increasing. So what to do? You defer this implementation of this for at least those states which is not following the norms. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Not gone for end-to-end computerization, not publish the list of beneficiaries online, not set up the vigilance committee. Next point. Cash transfer in PDS should be gradually introduced. Cash transfer in PDS should be gradually introduced starting from large cities. Starting from large cities. When we talk about large cities, here in bracket you can write over 1 million population. Over 1 million population. Comma, extending it to grain surplus states and then giving to grain deficit states the option of cash or physical grain distribution. The option of cash or physical. Yeah, write it. So initially it should be in the large cities, like 1 million cities, 1 million population should be there. Then extend it to grain surplus states, extend it to grain surplus states, and then to grain deficit states, the option of cash or physical grain distribution. And then giving the grain deficit state the option of cash or physical grain distribution. See, first you go with larger cities. So go for DBT, direct cash transfer. Okay. Then go for grain surplus states. Then give an option, giving grain deficit state an option. What is that option? Either cash or physical grain distribution. Okay. So I'm saying, I'll repeat it once again. Cash transfer in PDS should be gradually introduced starting from large cities. So first it should be large cities and then extending it to grain surplus cities and then giving the grain deficit state an option. What is the option? Either cash or physical grain distribution. Okay. So Chandigarh, Puducherry, etc. already went with DBT, cash transfer. Okay. Next point, coverage of population under NFSA should be reduced to 40%. See, now it is 67%. In that itself, 1/3 is excluded. So Shanta Kumar Committee says the subsidy burden is so high and it has to be reduced to 40%. Cover the poorest of the poor maximum. Okay, so what he's saying is that this is close to 1/3, right? So it has to be reduced to close to 1/3, or you can say this is 2/5. This is 2/5, correctly, exactly. Okay, so next, one more point, the allocation of priority household should be increased. So priority household should be increased. So right now priority household is having 25 kg and Antyodaya having 35 kg. So here firstly you have to reduce the beneficiaries and then for priority household it has to be increased. Increased to what? 7 kg per person. 7 kg per person. But you know, you increase the distribution to the priority household to 7 kg per person, but you also need to increase the issue price. So issue price also need to be increased. Okay, so once you do that, see, if you do all these things, Firstly, they obviously need more grain. That means around 35 kg they need. So give that, but issue price you increase on one side. Reduce 67% of beneficiaries to 40%. So by doing these two, what will happen? Your subsidy burden will actually reduce. So the fiscal burden on the government will reduce. Okay.